I do have a Roll Tide hat. That's where I will be this weekend, up there in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I'm going to say hi to my man, Coach Nick Saban, and see the Tide take on the Fresno State Bulldogs. But without further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk about the big game. Yes, the major key game of the weekend. That is Oklahoma going up to Columbus, Ohio to take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, last year, Ohio State gave Oklahoma a total beatdown in all phases of the game. And I predict this game will be a little bit closer. And let me tell you why. Go back to last year, Oklahoma DBs were, don't want to say sad, but let's just say weren't up to par with other talented college football teams. If you saw them play Houston the first game of the season, those DBs could not cover anybody, and that played into a major factor. But they got better throughout the year, and as you can see, they got to the Sugar Bowl and beat a good defensive team in Auburn. Let's go to this year. They played UTEP, they beat UTEP, so we really don't know if the DBs on that team are better. Also, they lost two major running backs in Joe Mixon, Sam Perine, a wide receiver in D.D. Westbrook. So Baker Mayfield is playing with new weapons. Okay, so they beat down UTEP pretty bad. But like I said, we don't know what they have. But we're going to find out a lot about Oklahoma this Saturday at the Horseshoe. Ohio State got a lot of players on defense, but if you saw them against Indiana, they gave up over 400 yards passing. 400 yards passing, and it seemed as if Denzel Ward was the one they wanted to pick on the most. Denzel Ward was in good coverage for a lot of plays, but just doesn't look back at the ball being thrown. It's like a lost art. Wide receiver looks back at the ball, DB puts to look back. They're not even doing that. So Indiana threw for a lot of yards, like I said, over 400 yards. So that's a concern I have when it comes to Ohio State defense. Will they DBs this year against Oklahoma be able to cover? Because it's a better team than Indiana. And we saw Ohio State struggle in the first half. Even though they're on the road and not at home, but still in all, you're supposed to beat Indiana pretty good. And they wound up doing so. But it took them a whole half to get the job done. So, playmakers, J.T. Barrett on offense. The only question is, will J.T. Barrett be able to get the ball down the field throwing? Can receivers get open and make big plays? Running back, you have Mike Weber, but he's still dealing with a hamstring injury. We don't know if he's going to play this game or not. But we did see what Dobbins did last week. And Dobbins might be something special with Ohio State. Let's just keep tuning in to see what happens down the line with the true freshman. Ohio State D-line, to me, will cause problems with Oklahoma. Okay? They're going to bring pressure. They're quick off the edges. One of the best D-lines in the country. And I think that's going to give Baker Mayfield fits. Okay, so Lincoln Riley, the head coach of Oklahoma, is going to have to do some adjustments. Maybe throw some screens to keep that D-line and linebackers honest from blitzing. Play action a little bit. The run game's working. Stuff like that. But with that being said, I do still predict the Ohio State Buckeyes to beat Oklahoma in a closer game than it was last year. Let's go to another big game. Stanford versus USC. A lot of you know I have USC in the college football playoffs. But we saw USC struggle against Western Michigan. Now, do not be fooled by Western Michigan. That was an undefeated team last year until losing to Wisconsin in the Cotton Bowl 24-16. PJ Fleck, who's now in Minnesota, built a good program over there at Western Michigan. So I was not surprised that Western Michigan went into USC and was leading for most of the game. Fourth quarter, talent prevailed with USC as they won, I believe, 48-31. Now, here comes Stanford. Stanford, hard-nosed, hit-you-in-your-face offense. They like to run the ball. And then if the running game is working perfectly, you got to watch out for play action passes. is part of their offense. They'll line up 7 across the board, 2 tight ends, a 1-2 formation, 1 running back, 2 tight ends. Run the ball, then boom, play action. Okay, so USC definitely will be looking for that. Definitely looking to stop the run. You stop the run on Stanford, you got a pretty good chance of winning. But David Shaw is a great coach, one of the greatest coaches in the game today. And I believe if he was at a more talented school, such as a LSU or USC, he might have a national championship. That's just my opinion. Okay, so USC got to stop that. And let's remember this. Stanford has now had 2 weeks to prepare for USC. Because Stanford did play Rice in week 0 and won 62-7. Here we are in week 2. So 2 weeks of film Stanford has over USC. But I think Clay Helton gets the job done. I think it'll be a close game. USC by 3 or 4. Just USC has more talent. More talent on offense, more talent on defense overall. And I think that's just going to get the job done. It'll be close because David Shaw, to me, is a much better coach than Clay Helton. Clay Helton is a good coach. He has the talent. He has the best quarterback most likely in the nation, Sam Darnold. USC, to me, prevails in a very close game over Stanford. Notre Dame, Georgia. This is kind of what and what to me. Notre Dame blows out Temple. Georgia defeats Appalachian State. But Georgia's quarterback, Jacob Eason, is hurt. He's not playing. In comes the freshman Fromm, and a lot of big things being said about Fromm. You know, a lot of people in the early in the spring thought he might beat out Jacob Eason for the starting quarterback job. Didn't happen. Now here's his chance. What he has working with him, one of the best running back duos in the nation. Nick Chubb, Sony Michel. Georgia, to me, will be in hostile territory. Not just to me. Everybody knows that. It's Notre Dame. It's Notre Dame. It's going to be hostile territory, period. But I wouldn't be surprised if Georgia goes there and wins this game. Because they thinking this is a game we're supposed to win. Notre Dame, on the meanwhile, thinking the same thing. This is a game they're supposed to win. Okay? You got Brian Kelly running the spread offense at Notre Dame. But I think the speed on the other side of the ball, Georgia's defense gets this job done. Georgia by 10, going to Indianapolis, going to Notre Dame, winning that game, coming back to the SEC, coming back to Georgia with another win, staying undefeated. Now, another game I'm definitely looking forward to, Clemson, Auburn. So this series has been going on for some past few years now. It's a great series that they have going. I hope they keep it going because I like the games between them. Last year, you know, with Auburn, offense struggling early in the season, had a very good defense, played Clemson. Clemson got the job done, I believe, 19-13, 19-14. It was a very close game. Auburn's defense kept them in the game the whole year. The whole game, I should say. Also kept them in games the rest of the year as the offense did get better. But, guys, you got to realize Gus Malzahn's offense, you need a mobile quarterback that can run. Okay? Jarrett Stidham did great things at Baylor. Now he has his first true test against Clemson, who has one of the best defenses also in the nation, with Farrell leading the D-line. Can Jarrett Stidham read the defense and make plays happen? That's what Gus Malzahn wants. Even though Jarrett Stidham is not a mobile quarterback like Cam Newton. With all that being said, Clemson, to me, they're not going to run away with this game. It's not going to happen. But they will win. They will win. Clemson defense will be better than Auburn's defense this year. Clemson defense will take control of this game within the third, fourth quarter. Kelly Bryant, I think, will be the ultimate playmaker because he's going to make plays with his feet. The passing game ain't working to Hunter Renfrow, Dean Cain. Kelly Bryant can run the ball. He can run. That's the difference. The playmaker on offense will be Kelly Bryant. He's going to run. going to make plays. It's going to happen. I promise you. It won't be a blowout. Clemson by 10 at home. But also, just remember, we're going to see what Jarrett Stidham is made of. Jarrett Stidham this year is facing 3 defenses who are ranked in the top 3 in total defense QBR in the nation since 2014. He got to go up against Clemson, LSU, and Bama. That's your top 3. And that starts this weekend against Clemson. I don't think he gets a job done in this game. I think Clemson's defense prevails. Clemson wins another tight ball game against the Auburn Tigers due to Kelly O'Brien making plays on his feet. Kelly Bryant, not Kelly O'Brien, excuse me, Kelly Bryant. Now, let's talk about some of the local games here in Louisiana. LSU versus Chattanooga. I really don't have to say anything about this. This will be an LSU win. But what I will say is, how many points will LSU offense put on the board? I'm expecting like 56-0. Yes. I was expecting 42 last week against BYU. I got 27. LSU needs to put these boys away early. Don't play with them. Put them away. Put the points on the board. Put your backups in. Rest your starters the rest of the game. This should even be a game at halftime. If I see 21-0 at halftime, I'm just going to shake my head. Like, you got to be kidding me. This team is too talented to be, playing around with teams. Put them away. That's what the crowd wants. That's what the fans of the state want. That's what the LSU fans want. They want to see this offense evolve from what they saw the past years under Les. Yeah, him, Les Miles. Okay? So I'm predicting a big win from LSU. Not predicting, hoping. They're going to win, but I'm hoping for a big win from the LSU Tigers. Hopefully 56-0. Tulane against Navy. So Tulane, big win over Grambling, which is expected. And there's a lot of people over here who wanted Grambling to win, who said Grambling was going to win. I said something was wrong with them, and I still stick to my words. But Tulane has Navy. And that triple option is pretty much the hardest offense to prepare for. And, Tulane will have the better talent on both sides of the ball. Can their defense remain disciplined? Know their keys when it comes to defending that triple option. If they know their keys and play their assignments the correct way, hell yeah, they can win. But will they do it? It's the question. And I say no. Navy is 12-point favorites over Tulane. I think Navy covers, and I think Navy defeats the Tulane Green Wave. Upset special. Louisiana Tech will defeat the Mississippi State Bulldogs. That is my upset special. That will happen. The Mississippi State Bulldogs will go into Ruston, Louisiana against Joe Alley. Excuse me. They go into Ruston, Louisiana at Joe Alley Stadium to play Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. Both Tech's at home. Skip Holtz finally has a mobile quarterback that can run. That's a big difference. And it's going to be a high-scoring game. High-scoring game. It's going to happen. But Tech gets the job done. Nick Fitzgerald, on the other hand, from Mississippi State, who's this promising quarterback. I think something happens in the fourth quarter, a turnover or something. La Tech bounces and takes control of the opportunity given to them, and they score. Tech will win a close game, a very high-scoring game. That's my upset special. Oh, another upset special. And I will end on this note. The Baylor Bears will lose to the University of Texas at San Antonio. Roadrunners. Book it. Frank Wilson, the coach of UTSA, will get a big win over a major